Well, the WBC officially ordered Dillian Whyte as your mandatory. We weren't quite sure.
How many days has he been my mandatory?
Well, not yours.
One.
Yeah, not yours.
One.
Yeah.
Yesterday. So welcome to the big GK world.
Right. I'm like, he's not been your mandatory. He's just been the WBC mandatory
That's not my problem.
Yeah. Well, here we are. He's finally getting his shot, but this time it's against you. Everyone was anticipating it being against Wilder, but here we are. What do you make of Dillian?
I know Dylan a long time. We go back a long way. He's improved a lot over the last few years, but the outcome will always be the same. I'll knock him out. If that fight happens, then I'll knock him out.
When do you anticipate that the fight could happen then?
I've no idea.
Because you want to be out right like February, March.
I do, but you're going to have to speak to Frank Warren or Bob Arum about that sort of thing, because I don't get involved in dates and stuff. I just get the date whenever it says I train for that fight, and then that's what I do, turn up.
From my understanding, there's always the unification fights always trump the mandatories, correct? Is there still a chance that you would want to pursue the possibility of fighting against Usyk if Joshua takes step-aside money, or are you just going to, at this point, solely focus on Dillian?
I'm not focused on any of them.
Okay.
I told you that 2 seconds ago. I'm not interested in what they do. They're all a pack of bums, as far as I'm concerned, and they can all fight it out between them, whatever they're going to do. I'm not really interested, and like I say, the promoters will make the fights happen, and I'll just turn up, collect a paycheck, and knock a motherfucker out, like I always do.
Okay.
No biggie. Another day in the office for me. I don't care if it's Dillian Whyte, Usyk, or Joshua, or Wilder again, whoever it's going to be next. The outcome's going to be the same for me. In my mind, the outcome will be the same.
Yo, what's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we just heard there from your man's Tyson. Oh, Fury. Now, I can't lie. The energy on this one was a bit weird. Although, to be fair, earlier in the interview, he did say something about how he's on a bit of a downer or something like that. So I don't know, but I'm just saying, the energy for me was a bit weird. Yeah. Now, again, to be fair to him, he did say whoever it is going to get it. So that was good energy. But the point is, where I'm going with this is, we know the mandatory has been announced. And for me, I don't understand this myself, in as much as maybe it's because I don't know what I don't know, if that makes sense. Maybe if I was in the fight game for 10 years and Tyson Fury's lived through David Haye fight not happening and this fight not happening, that fight not happening, maybe that's what makes him cynical, if that makes sense. Maybe that's what makes him not rock hard. But in my mind, I would have preferred him to say, look dead down the camera and say, Dillian, you are getting it. You big Bambi-legged bum. Yeah, that's what I would have preferred to hear. And I can't lie to you. I'm critical of a lot of these boxers and their marketing, their advertisement abilities. Because that's what the fans want to hear. And you best believe, when me and Tyrone get it on, there ain't going to be no, well, it could be Tommy Fury next, or it could be this guy next. It's Tyrone, yeah? Tyrone is the man of my dreams right now. That's it. I want Tyrone bad. And the reason it's important, I think, if nothing else but for strategy, in terms of business, what's your next fight likely to be? Whatever fight that is, sell it. People don't want to know about where it could be. I mean, Tyson Fury said, it could be Wilder next. I swear to God, Tyson Fury in this interview said, yeah, it could be Mr. Johnston. He goes. It could be Mr. Johnston. It could be, who was the other guy? Usyk. It could be Dillian Whyte, or it could be Wilder. I was like, Wilder? Please stop. I don't know, man, but people could argue. I'm sure Fury Goober fans will be saying, no, but he just saying that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, why that name keep cropping up? Especially when we do know historically, yeah, your man the YB has leaked this information in the past. We do know that your man Tyson Fury has, in the past, talked about, yeah, me and Wilder are going to fight 6 times. I swear down, yeah, I swear down. Obviously, do I think it's likely? No, I don't. But if it did happen, I'm done. I swear down, I'm leaving this dead sport. If that fight happened again, I'm out of it. If that fight happened next, some magical how, I swear down. But to be honest, it'd be quite funny for the banter part of things. But apart from that, I'll be out of it. I'm straight out the door. That'll be the last straw for me. That'll be the last straw. But the point is, again, what good is that energy doing? Now, I understand there is an argument. You could say, well, Whyte, he just hungry for anyone. It could be anyone. And yeah, but, I mean, the WBC's ordered it. Now, the WBC is corrupt, but you best believe. Give me an example of the WBC ordering something and then... Oh, tell a lie. In fact, no, they are flip-floppers. Because they ordered Dillian versus Bumzeel. Yeah, they ordered Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Bumzeel for the mandatory position, and then Louis Old Tees pulled out, and they filled Old Tees with Brazil, and then Dillian Whyte got cucked. So who knows? And maybe Tyson Fury knows something we don't, in as much as Michelle the Fire Phelps did say that unification supersede mandatory. So who knows? Now Tyson Fury removed himself from the situation and said, listen, I don't know anything about anything. Talk to Fish Eyes, talk to Finding Nemo, talk to Senile Bob, if you want to know about what's going on in my career. So he's removed himself, but all I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure, for example, we've seen Tyson Fury know he's fighting Deontay Wilder. He's locked into that fight. All I'm saying is that at this point in time, he don't sound locked into Dillian Whyte. He doesn't sound locked in to giving Dillian Whyte a good old hiding. Now, again, in his defence, he says that, well, you know, I've got Christmas, I've got kids, I want to get past that first. And I get that to an extent. I'm just saying, as a fan, you can't just sit here and you're left thinking, well, I was quite excited for that fight. Dillian Whyte versus... I was quite looking forward to Bambi on ice versus... to be fair, Tyson Fury's legs are much better. Yeah, he got bowed legs too. Yeah, this for me is the battle of the bowed legs. Who rocks bowed legs the best? That's what this fight's about. Who can hold the bowed legs the most? 100%, no doubt. This should be called the battle of the Cougans. Yeah, the battle of the Cougan legs. Them bowed ones, 100%. But on a serious note, like I was saying earlier, for me, I was getting excited for this fight, and now it's kind of like doo. That sound. It's that letdown sound. That's how I'm feeling now. Bit let down, but listen, this is the sport, yeah? This ain't called... There's a reason boxing isn't called UFC, because we stay getting let down, yeah? You got Timmy Fumbles, you got all these different things going on. The sport is based, genuinely, yeah? 50% of the sport is based... I mean, probably more than that, because the worst thing is, people, what do we know? Even when these dudes get in the ring, people like Mr. Johnston, looking like Africanulese, big useless looking ass, yeah? So it's like, wait a minute, half the fights we don't get because of people like Timmy Fumbles. The other half we do get, half of them, you got people like Mr. Johnston coming in for a sparring session and celebrating it. No word of a lie, after the fight, yeah, after the Usyk fight, Mr. Johnston said, you know, the fans should be... I hope the fans got value from this, because I got value. I got 12 rounds in. Wow. That's what we get. And now, this for me is just more of that, to be honest. In a way, I think we should probably praise Tyson for being honest and not getting our hopes up. Yeah, that's what he's probably doing. He probably think, you know what? The YB roasted me for dropping the ball with the AJ fight. Yeah, he roasted me for flopping on the Wilder fight back in July. He roasted me for having to go to court to be forced to fight. So let me not get his hopes up. Let me just sit here and sit on the fence and chill for a fourth Wilder fight. So yeah, respect for that. Because you best believe, if you got me gassed about Dillian Whyte, if you got me gassed for the battle of the Cougan legs, and you flopped, it's gonna be no good. Anyway. Tyson versus Dillian. Bold legs. Hashtag bold legs. Yeah. Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury. Hashtag bold legs. Hashtag cougar legs. Let's see what happens, people. I am quite, well, I'm a little bit excited, but again, this for me is kind of popped the bubble a bit. Truth be known, I would have loved for Tyson Fury to come out and say, listen, yeah, there's some talks of me fighting Usyk, there's some talks of me fighting Johnston, but the truth is, Dillian, I want you bad. Yeah, Dillian, you've been moaning, you've been bitching, yeah, and you, in a way, I'm glad you've been bitching, because that's what I'm going to make you. I'm going to make a good old brown bitch out of you. That's what he should have been saying. Instead, oh, well, you know, could be Johnston. Oh, could be Anthony Johnston. Oh, Deontay Wilder. All that kind of, that's not, for me, that's just not it. But we'll see anyway. I guess at least now the institution of boxing is working somewhat. At least WBC has ordered it. Even if it did take some legal dons to get it done. No doubt.